Alright, it is the Random Gamer, and we are back to try and continue on with Orleans. I'm not going to try, we're going to continue on with Orleans, so. Alright, so we are on section 13, or node 13. Oh, hey, why you? This is quite irritating. This is me. Right back at you. How did you get to be a servant? Never thought you'd say that. From where I sit, it's far more maddening to see that I've become a servant as myself. I'm a revered countress feared by all. Finished product. I'm not like an unfinished product like you. I devoured fear and became an anti-hero. But what about you? You devoured the existence this is. Me. You simply refused to age, feared being sealed away. Of course you did. From your perspective, I'm a sign of your sin. The guilt you brought up yourself, the unassailable record of your murders. That's right. You are who I really am, my final destination, symbol of my sin. That my tears, no tears will change. Denying you means looking away from the crimes I've committed. But that doesn't mean I can't take responsibility. It might be ugly self-deprecation, but I'll say it anyway. I don't want to be like you. How foolish. With spirits of the past, the future's already been decided. I know that, but I'm saying it anyway. Help me, little puppy. You may be a step down from the master I dream of, but you're still first rate. Please let me settle things with her. Let me sing with everything I have. So yeah, and also, it's always interesting with Camilla and Elizabeth that they are able to summon the same servant, just different iterations. Because I know with the lore-wise, it's you're able to summon from the future and past. So, wait, so you're allowed to summon. There's multiple. Yeah. This has sort of been answered in some ways, but not. But it's, let's be honest, a lot of the time the rules are what is convenient to fate. That is probably going to be how a lot of this goes, so I don't think there's hard and fast rules. I think some of it they kind of made up as they wrote. Which is honestly a lot of series as they run on. They write rules and then realize it's cornered them and then they figure out something else. So it's not a bad thing, it's just, it is what it is. Okay. Listen. That should work. Damn it. Because that should have been. Alright. Oh wait, that would have been. Oh shoot. I think that's enough. Alright. So. Sorry, I was thinking for a second there. But, yeah, it's interesting with this game because, like, as the story evolves, they tend to... Of course, I haven't upgraded this character. Oh, but as the game evolves and lore, because, like, I finally played, like, I downloaded the 20th anniversary, whatever you want to call it, on Steam, the Fate Stay Night. I believe it's just Fate Stay Night, because the other Unlimited Blade Group on Path, blah, blah. I downloaded that game. And because I've only seen it, I don't like to pirate, so I try and play official, which corners me because I don't speak Japanese. So I can't really play the original, so it was actually quite interesting for me to play it. But I, like, only Nasu knows it. He probably, like, he might have had an idea that if this is successful where he was going to go with it, but, you know, every creator, I'm sure, is, like, even me here, I would love to do cool things here, but I don't know every opportunity and pathway because I'm new to this stuff, so, you know, sometimes you can be, here's what you're going to do, and then as you continue on, this is what happens. So I think he wrote a fun, like, he had a story in his head, And I think he put a lot of world building into it. Don't get me wrong, I am not insulting Nasu, but I don't think he had... I think he was hoping, but I don't think he had in his mind how far the Fate IP has gone. And so I think the original, he wrote himself into a few little corners. So I think there's some weasel rules, but as soon as you do alternate timelines and future and all that stuff, it kind of gives you the ability to weasel out of anything, any story corners. So it's not a big deal. But yeah. So let's see how we're doing with Orleans. And sorry, people, if I'm not being like super into the Orleans story, because while it is good, it's just not captivating. Lost Belt, the Lost Belts, I am way more into. So. The future doesn't reject the past, but rather the past rejects the future. Such drivel coming out of your mouth, but that's why you're so dazzling is annoying. Let me return to the darkness, that last instance, that light that slobbed between bricks. That's right, whether I live or die, I am always alone. Alright. Farewell, my future, farewell the part of myself, so sad I had to separate. This will not lessen my sins, nor others feel towards me. I will deny the future as many times as I must, and sing as many times as I must. 'Cause, yeah, that's the future, and da-da-da. So, yeah. Okay. And I think we're gonna fight Famphir now. But who knows? Alright, here we go. Yep, oh, this is the Famphir fight. Okay. So, after multiple obstacles, we're finally here. Good work, Master, and Mash Cure Light. We're almost to the evil dragon. Confronting it like this, I must confess, I don't know how I won the first time. Don't say it like that now. There's just one thing inscribed in my memory. My victory was not a certain one. It was a single tiny sliver of chance surrounded by a million defeats. Plan carefully, move boldly, keep a broad perspective, and focus deeply upon a single point. Be like the sea, the sky, the darkness, the light contradict themselves. Unless you do that, there's no way you can defeat Famphir. I understand. I'll do what I can. Oh, Master, are you ready? Let's go. It is an honor to have such a bold master. Okay. Return to Earth once more, wicked dragon. Okay. So... Alright. Let's see how this is gonna go. Alright. And if you're wondering why I'm damn it. This is the one reason why I do like to play with servants. I know, because I know roughly how much damage they're gonna do. Because one of the things is you want to cycle different characters, and so it's not... Don't want them to get stuck. Yes. Alright, so that should... There we go. Okay, there. Worried for a second there. But... yeah. Alright, so... yeah, I was gonna say, like... as much as, like... I know I should maybe be talking and analyzing the story, but... I honestly, this is just, the story is not that in depth. It's fun, don't get me wrong. But like, Lost Belt 6, they start, like in the Lost Belts, even in part 1 point, in, like between part 1 and 2, Requiem, or, I call part 1.5, it has a name, and I'm drawing a blank, that I start to get more in depth with the story, not just surface level, and that's one thing, like, let's be honest, the story's not complicated. Joan d'Arc came back evil. Summoned 7 servants of our own that were evil with a berserk enhancement. Okay, there's the story. As soon as you get into Lost Belts and stuff, you have cryptics, you have surprises, like, and like, I would have a hard time with anybody telling me that they could have seen the story coming. Like, I personally have a very hard time believing that, because there is not a lot of hints. Well, there's little hints, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I find it harder to believe them. Alright, so let's Power it up. Let's see how the Dragon Slayer does. Because I do not have Siegfried. I've heard he is, when it comes to dragons, that is about his use. He's not that great otherwise, I've heard. But it's all good. Every servant has their use. And that is the beauty of this game. Even if you like a servant that is not in meta, they still have a use. It's like Mordred is one of my favorites, or is my favorite. And while she is not a top tier saber, she is still incredibly powerful. And I used her as soon as I got her. She pretty much marched me through, I want to say the first, like I got her at the beginning of Lost Belts. I think I beat one or two prior. So I gotten stuck because, like, you don't need meta supports in part 1 as soon as you hit part 2. There's creative ways to do it, but meta supports make it doable without using SQs as a continuum. Because that's one of the big things is you can use SQ as continues, but you want to avoid it at all costs. The thing though is you can beat Lost Belts if you study with the 3 and without that. Or yeah. But yeah, I got stuck at 2 or 3. I can't remember which one it was. Until I got Mordred. Just like I said earlier in there, my luck was horrid. Like I got Enkidu as my first servant, my first 5-star. Then I got Nemo as a spook instead of Morgan. And they carried me a long time. And then I got Mordred, and also my luck switched because it seems around anniversaries it does good because I got Koyanskaya and Oberon. So Mordred plus Koyanskaya and Oberon, very good combo. Not the best, but very good. Alright, impossible. We've defeated it. Confirmation, Fenfear's complete silence. Amazing, a new Dragon Slayer has been born. Look, the Wyverns are in panic. They must be confused because Fafnir, their commander, got taken out. Ugh. Come back, Joan. Gillis. Gillis? First, let's get back to the prison, to this prison castle. We need to regroup. Understood. Wait. Here I was all ambitious to keep filming tonight, but I think I'm going to call it here because I'm yawning too much, and I'm sure you guys love to hear me yawn. But it is what to eat. Alright, so I'm gonna say I did look how many chapters there are just because I was trying to plan this out. There are 15, so we are on 14, and I didn't ask how many arrows there were. So arrows, how many nodes, so I don't know how many nodes there are, but we are going to continue on here. But yeah. But yeah, the story gets better as it goes on, and yeah. Alright, I'm off to settle the score with the Dragon Witch. Master will head out there too. We should leave this place to the other servants and track the Dragon Witch. You're right, let me handle this. Take Kiyohime and Elizabeth with you. Very well, I look forward to working with you, Master. That's fine, but why us? Her noble phantasm hurts my ears, and Kiyomi breathes fire on any way friend or foe. Both are noble phantasms. Elizabeth's is the worst noble phantasm in the world, I'm sure of it. Huh? Huh? Let's go, you two. Fanfears follow. Without it, the other wyverns, I'm aware. Let us summon a new servant. Indeed. Gillis, defend me while I focus on the summoning. I'm counting on you. Understood. I'll use my noble phantasms Prelude spellbook to buy us time. Use that time to summon us a powerful servant. Perhaps King Arthur. I can't imagine an English knight answering my summons, but I'll see what I can do. Good luck. Dean Joan, I pray the light of your glory is not tainted. Let us hurry. If we're too slow, she'll summon another servant. I know that. You know this castle's kind of nice. It's kind of my style, you know? Yes, it's terrible. Indeed, all this blood they didn't organize, they didn't clean. How filthy. Only a bloodthirsty barbarian would prefer a place like this. You're right. This is bad. This is bad, isn't it? Master enemies, let them quickly. But yeah, I'm looking like I said, the story is not, and they did one thing I've noticed, because like I beat the entire story up till now. One thing I'm noticing is this story was 2-3 lines of text, battle, 2-3 lines of text, battle. It doesn't go in depth. Where later on the story, they start to build more. Like, I'm not, again, for the time, this was really good. But I don't, yeah, there's a bit of a, they didn't, because Fate is a visual novel. They really didn't lean in as much as people, because I think they're trying to make gacha games. So it's like, they didn't lean into it, where they definitely lean into more in the earlier, because later, because at that point, if they have already put that much time in, the odds of them walking away, so they make it like friendly reading wise, or ease of play, they get you hooked, and then because the Lost Belts, it gets more difficult, the story gets way more complicated and better in my opinion, whereas this story, while good, is not what it could be. I don't know if this was all the story was. Like this kind of, I don't know if I would have stayed with the game. Yeah, I don't think so, because it gets way, like, while I'm not a story snob, it's still this idea of, I do want something. Alright. Boom. And there we go. But come on. Yeah, that is one thing I'm glad they did. They did change this wave of guards, because like, I can feel myself right now having a hard time like coming up with stuff that anybody's ever talked to a computer screen, imagining there's an audience in front of you. It's not as easy as it sounds, actually. And so like I'm kind of just like, what do I talk about here? Because well, it's another group of guards. There's no storyline except there's guards. And that was one thing they did not do a good job at the beginning, was like the story and the fights, like they get better and better, because they also realize that if we don't throw a bunch of stuff at them, people are going to call them. Alright, well, I'm going to do this episode. I think my brain's going a little to mush. A tiny bit shorter than normal, but I think it's a good place to end right here. So, if you like the content, hit the like button. If you want to see the rest of our run with Orleans, hit the subscribe button. You want to make sure you're up to date and you know how it is going. So, how do I like to end all this off? Just like always, this is the Random Gamer, and until next time, let's play games.